This is Vargas recording live from the Vargas Vault. It's a little past 1 in the morning. I have to record these videos kind of late because I have to wait for my kids and my wife to go to sleep. So, I can't record when they're here because I'm playing with them or I'm taking care of them. Did a little housework and just wanted to share with you guys something I haven't actually done in a while. I thought I had recorded a video of comic book pickups before, but I was going through my channel feed and I couldn't find a video of me talking about comic books. So I already organized the comic books I got 3 months ago. So I'm sorry, I got a couple of those True Believer dollar comic books, and I picked up a couple of, if I remember correctly, I know I picked up a bunch of $1 True Believer comic books, and something else, probably a whole bunch of X-Men books. I can't remember if I uploaded that or not, because I was pretty sure I recorded it, but anyway, took my family to SeaWorld. And on our way back, we stopped by the comic book store. Thing about going to SeaWorld is I never have that much money left over, but this time I made it a point to try to clean out as much as I can. I'm not picking up as many comic books. I might have mentioned that before. I'm only picking up Batman consistently. Picking up Batman X-23. Still X-23 until they cancel it or reboot it. I was picking up Old Man Logan, but then they turned it into a miniseries, and they haven't done anything with Wolverine. So, and I'm picking up the True Believer comic books. So that's basically all I'm picking up. I've mentioned this before. I'm doing it. I was going to do it. Now I am doing it. I am cutting off comic books except for those series because I'm only going to keep Batman and Wolverine. So yeah, but so I picked up a couple of stuff. This is Doomsday Clock, which is the big Watchmen versus DC Universe book miniseries that's coming out. This is issue 9 of 12, and this has been a slow burn. It has taken a while for everything to build up. It's been well written. I'm not a fan of the $4.99 price tag for something that's only the size of a normal comic book. But it's issue 9. It's 3 more issues to go and this thing's done. But the other thing that I feel has really, really hurt this comic book is that the scheduling for this has been horrible. It's 1, 2, 3 months pass by and no new issue. I read that issue 10 was going to be delayed, but this was pretty good. This has Dr. Manhattan, who's the most powerful being in the Watchmen universe, fighting a whole bunch of DC universe. So the Green Lanterns go after him, and the thing about Dr. Manhattan is like he has complete control over energy and matter. So at first the Green Lanterns get a couple of licks in, but then he's able to learn how the energy works. And then beats the Green Lanterns, and then all the magical people go after him, and he's like, oh, well, what people consider magic is just another form of energy, and wipes off, Satana, Constantine, and all the magical users, and then at the end he just, beats everyone. So it's really slow build up. I like the issues as they've come out, but just really, really slow in picking up. Everything's too much build up. Picked up a couple of these True Believer comic books. I really, really dig these. I like the older Marvel comic books way more than the newer Marvel comic books. And again, I don't remember if I recorded and forgot to upload it or if I did. But last time I picked up a whole bunch of True Believer $1 Fantastic Four comic books. Because they just reprinted a whole bunch of books of first appearances from the Skrulls, the Kree, and everything like that. So again, if I posted that video, cool. If not, that's what I got. And Marvel reacquired the rights for Conan. They had it, then lost it to Dark Horse, and then got it back again. So they started reprinting a whole bunch of Conan books. The one I got is True Believers. What if Conan the Barbarian walked the Earth today? And back when Marvel had the license, the only other What If book I have is What If Thor traveled to Conan's world. So you had Thor, traveling to the world of Conan. This one, Conan goes through a time portal or space-time portal and is transported to the Marvel Universe. And ironically, that actually did happen because this is the book that was going to come out. But I read somewhere that Conan is going to be part of a group of Avengers, so there you go. With the release of Captain Marvel, they started releasing a whole bunch of reprints of key Captain Marvel issues. The only one I was interested in is this one, which is a reprint of Avengers Annual, which is the first appearance of Rogue. So that's why I picked this one up, because this fits into my my X-Men collection. Because I can't afford the original books. I can't afford Incredible Hulk 181. I can't afford a whole bunch of these X-Men books and Fantastic Four, older Marvel books. So these True Believer things are great. They're $1. They're $1, and they're reprints of those old comic books. So basically, it works for me because I'm not into collecting comic books for any sort of monetary purpose. I collect comic books. Well, I used to collect a lot more comic books, but I still read comic books for the stories. And these are stories that, unless I buy a trade or something like that, I wouldn't be able to read unless I picked up these True Believers. So I love these True Believer books. I genuinely enjoy them a lot more than the current product that Marvel is releasing. So yeah, as long as they keep publishing those, I'll keep buying those, and they're $1, so it doesn't hurt my economy that bad. Left this one in my file for a long while, but this is Hunt for Wolverine: Dead Ends. They were releasing a whole bunch of miniseries called The Hunt for Wolverine, which I didn't pick up because I don't have that much money anyway. I only picked up the first issue that sets up the miniseries, and then this is the last one where they basically just give a quick recap. Something that I read in this one that I didn't like is that one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe is Psylocke, but the ninja Asian Psylocke, not the British one. I never cared for the British one, but once they turned Psylocke into a ninja, British, an Asian ninja assassin with a British accent, that's when that's when Psylocke became like, wow, she's really cool. But in this one, it happened in the miniseries, the Hunt for Wolverine Madripoor. Somehow Psylocke got her original body back, so she's back to being British. So she's no longer an Asian assassin, and that sucks. They completely ruined Psylocke for me. So that I thought that was lame. But that leads into Return of Wolverine. Wolverine, the 616 Wolverine died a couple of years ago. He lost his healing factor, and then his death was in a battle with Weapon X, and he got covered with adamantium. So he died of suffocation. And in this one, it reveals that someone stole his body, brought him back to life, but he has like amnesia, because of course they had to reset Wolverine with amnesia. And something that I didn't like when I heard about it, and I didn't like it when I read it, is that they gave Wolverine a new power where he can superheat his claws. So adamantium is the strongest metal in the Marvel Universe. It can cut through anything. And it was mentioned in the Wolverine movie that if you superheat adamantium, it doesn't somehow melt, but it can cut adamantium. So if you heat adamantium, it can cut through adamantium. So I guess that's what they did here. He can superheat his claws. They don't melt, but they don't explain how where the heat emanates from. So it's stupid. It's a new stupid power that they gave Wolverine. But now his claws like superheat and they can cut through anything. So that's issue 2. This is issue 3. He still doesn't. He's slowly trying to remember who he is. Confronts the X-Men. In issue 4, this is a tribute issue to Stan Lee. It's black. Stanley died a couple of months ago. And it's revealed that it's this kind of mutant that is able to possess dead people and reanimate them, but with her consciousness. So Wolverine has to stop her, and as he's doing so, he slowly unlocks uh, parts of his memory. So now Wolverine has been resetted to having amnesia again. He doesn't really know who he is anymore, like he was originally, and now he has a stupid superheating claw power. So that felt wasted. And I picked up the last issues of Old Man Logan. This is Old Man Logan 46. When Wolverine died, they brought Old Man Logan, who's a future, an alternative reality version of Wolverine, where he's old. He killed the X-Men. He went into exile. So you had an older Wolverine running around. So that's issue 46. Issue 47, he's fighting with Alpha Flight against this sentient plant creature. And then issue 48, he has fighting the Maestro, which is a version of the Hulk that went evil. Issue 49, I really like the covers. And then issue 50, which is the last issue of Old Man Logan. And but then they turn it into a mini-series called Dead Man Logan. That's going to chronicle his last days, but I haven't. That's still in my file. I haven't picked it up. And then they released an annual, Old Man Logan annual, that's set in the Wastelands, the alternate future where Wolverine meets a still alive Frank Castle. So that one was actually pretty good. And I picked up some Batman. Batman's releasing twice a month, so it piles up quite a bit. But I picked up issue 58. I like this run of Batman. 59. 60. And 61. So I left like 5 issues of Batman behind. I actually left those Old Man Logan, Dead Man Logan. They're up to issue 4 of the miniseries. I left like 4 issues of Batman, and I left like 6 issues of X-23. So I still have to go and pick up some stuff, but still collecting a little bit of comic books. Just have to, save some money and go to the store and try to clean out my file. But I still have a couple of like 12 books there waiting for me. I heard that there's going to be a major Marvel event called War of the Realms. Not interested in that. I gave up on Marvel super events since before Secret War, so no interest in that. I read online that they're going to possibly reboot in June when War of the Realms ends. They're going to reboot a whole bunch of stuff. Not interested. From Marvel, the only thing I'm going to pick up is the True Believer comic books, which are awesome. They're reprints, not worth anything. I don't care. They're $1, and they reprint key comic books that interest me, like first appearances of characters. So I'm going to pick up that because a dollar comic book is not that bad, and it's good stories. They're great stories. Again, compared to what Marvel's releasing. So if they do make a giant reboot, I'll pick up whatever Wolverine is in. If they release a Wolverine comic book, I'll pick up that because Wolverine's my favorite Marvel character. And I'm still going to pick up Batman because Batman's my favorite DC character. So yeah, might not see these comic book updates as often as you used to, unless I put a whole bunch of stuff together and have something to showcase. Or if I don't forget, because for the life of me I can't remember if I recorded a video of those True Believer comic books I got and whatever little extra I got. So it's been a while since you've seen a comic book update. That was my very small comic book update. Relatively small compared to what I used to put out, but with the second kid now in our lives, I gotta cut down on expenses. And while it really, really hurts to give up on my comic books, because I love my comic books, and comic books, I mentioned this before, got me through a really, really tough patch in my life. There are things that have to happen for me to be able to maintain my family properly. So you probably won't see as many comic books. Still have to record some movies I picked up. Movies I'm still buying. It's the one thing that I'm still buying because they're cheap, they're awesome, and it's the one thing that I can still keep up with. Comic books are $4. It's $4 for a book that I enjoy, but realistically can't afford that much versus a 25 to 50 cent movie. You know, gotta change one for the other. But I'm still buying comic books. You won't. I won't phase out comic books entirely out of my life. Just the amount of books is what's gonna get reduced. So yeah, that was kind of depressing. But thank you so much for watching this comic book update video, guys. Comment. I know a lot of people have also given up on comic books. I know a good friend of mine, Movie John, has stopped buying comic books and got rid of a whole bunch of his comic books. ECW fan is still collecting comic books, but like me, he's focusing on the older stuff. So yeah, and I read a rumor somewhere that Marvel might, well, now that Disney owns them, that they might stop publishing comic books altogether. So I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that's a very nasty rumor that came about, and I hope it doesn't happen because I would hate to see comic books stop being published. So yeah, I hope that's a flat out lie. But I'm rambling again. So because my mind is in the ether and my body's just here trying to record YouTube videos. So I'm gonna stop this video right now because otherwise I'm gonna talk for a long while and I don't want to leave a really long video. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for hearing this old crazy man talk about comic books. And until I see you all again, this was Vargas recording from the vault. Thanking you all and signing out.